And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Monday night. You know what that means. It is time for the Boardman Spartan Show, brought to you by our friends at the Bunker and Double Bogeys. And as always, the head ball coach of the football team, Mr. DJ Dota, joins us. And Coach, tough week. Tough, obviously, on the W's and the L side of things,
Yes.
but even tougher with losing some of your guys. A very physical game on Friday night. Talk to me about kind of the wins and the losses on the depth chart and kind of how things are going, getting them back on the field.
Yeah, it's we had a couple guys in the last 2 weeks, just go down,
Sure.
halfway through the game, but we preach all the time. The next guy's got to step up. Somebody's got to make a play. We have enough guys on our program to do that, but we have to build that depth as we go. Me being here just new, I think that's going to take time.
Yep.
And that's like understanding it from top to bottom for me as the head football coach to my assistants, and understanding like, hey, this is why we talk about closing the gap.
Yeah.
And why we have to play number twos. So those guys are always ready and they don't feel like they're in a situation where, oh my God, we're going to panic. So I don't ever do that. I think maybe I would have my first 4 or 5 years of head coaching.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in 14, 15, I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't get as bothered by that, because we know that you're just going to have to go play anyway. So I hope that we've prepared guys enough in those situations that we have 2 guys that are ready to go and they've gotten enough reps. And then if they were close, they're going to play in football games. So, it's not at that same level.
Yeah.
Even if they're JV guys and they're repping and we rep them at practice, but that doesn't, it's not the same.
Yeah.
But we got to have guys ready. And, if it isn't now, it's going to improve them for 2-3 weeks from now. So either way, we end up benefiting from it.
And I think this is a problem, not just here, but across the board. How do you get these kids and these people healthy? I mean, you see in the NFL, they're going down like flies as well.
Yeah.
I mean, football is a physical sport. There's
Yes.
going to be injuries, but there's a difference between being injured and being hurt.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you get that mentality? And obviously there were some injuries on
Yes.
Friday night, but how do you get the kids to understand the difference between the two?
I think number one, we're saying it all the time. There's a difference between I'll talk to those guys. Like, you're going to get bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
And you're going to be hurt. And, Todd Berkey, our trainer.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was at Youngstown State for a lot of years. I mean, we went to college together.
You guys
So
are
we've
blessed.
had classes before, we've interacted over the years. He does an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
I think he does a really good job of educating our kids. Does a great job. We talk about treatment all the time, guys. Bumps and bruises, go see him. He's going to take care of you, and he's going to make you feel better at the end of that 5 to 15 minutes, whatever he's with you, to make sure you're always taking care of him. So we talk about, there's 4 hours out of the day, 5 hours a day in the summer, or now 4 hours a day where they can go for treatment and take care of their body. So
that's incredible.
we talk about that is just as important as what you eat, how you practice, weightlifting that we do. Those things are just as important. Plus, we do have strength class.
Yeah.
So I teach a strength class. He teaches strength after school. So I think with those things and us working together, we're trying to do a lot of prehab work.
Yeah.
So we're teaching kids like, okay, these are pains, but you can get through these. And we try to, I think that me and him do a pretty good job with that.
I would imagine so. I mean, but that's a mentality though.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you sprain your wrist, right, it's different than
Yes.
if you break it.
Yes.
And
there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think our kids know that, and he's really good at that. Like he can explain to kids exactly what they're feeling and why they are. So I think it makes them feel a little more comfortable about things.
That's nice to have
Yes.
a trainer.
Trust me, because we haven't.
Not every school has one.
No, and other places I've been, we either had them or didn't have them. And it's a real, when you don't have it and there's somebody there that can actually, like, it's not just he's an athletic trainer. So he can actually diagnose and understand what's going on. Where when you have some of the people that are just hired by your school, which I've had it 2 or 3 different other jobs that I've had, that you have that, those people they really don't know.
Yeah.
Some of them do have a lot of knowledge, but they can't really diagnose. And is somebody really going to believe that? A parent is not going to do that. So, or a kid.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of experience that he brings to the table. And it's, I think that he's done a great job of, he always talks about it's not culture, it's creating an environment. And he does a good job, and the kids understand where he's coming from.
Do you ever feel comfortable with getting your twos the amount of reps that they need, or you know what I mean, in practice or game? Or
I think that's a hard thing that I fight with my guys, like the assistants. Like, guys, we still have to rep that guy because those guys are going to have to be ready, and he won't be if we don't get reps at game, like, because you cannot get game like reps very likely at a practice. You can only get that in a game. It's not happening in a JV game either.
No.
It's a whole different speed. Like some of the sophomore guys that we're playing at this point. Now, some of those guys are good enough to play, or they're just the best guys at that position right now. But they know like it's a whole different speed than playing freshman football or JV football if they did a year ago. So, that's one of the biggest things just to come over is the speed. I think that's kind of what happened to us week 1 with Kenson. Like they were played at a whole different speed. You got a lot of seniors coming back, a lot of guys with varsity experience. We didn't. They understand that, and we didn't. And that's hard to. You can't simulate that.
I was just going to ask, is there a way that you can simulate that at all?
No, you can't. It's really hard. Like there's no way that you could simulate that at a practice.
That's incredible. So game reps are the only thing that you can really do.
Yeah, however, we were even getting guys in shape. Like you still have to play in a game to get in game shape.
Yeah,
like you can run and do all those things you want to do, but the bottom line is you got to play 4 quarters, and it's a whole
heartbeat's a little different on a Friday night, huh?
A little different.
Talking about Friday nights, I mean, you play Mooney on Friday. Now you got Warren and Harding. I mean, you're getting back to that local sort of kind of lineup that you guys are going through. I know we talked last week about it's nice to be able to know the kid that you're playing against.
Oh, yeah.
Harding, I mean, they're Harding. They you know what you're getting. You're getting a tough battle. You're getting a heavyweight battle.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at? I mean, what do you see on film that you guys think that you can get to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the things that they represent, they're really, really fast.
Yes, they are.
So we're going to have to catch them with some misdirection things that we do at that nature. Offensively, I mean, I think, defensively, we're going to have to stop the run. I mean, that's something that everybody's done against us to this point. I don't even think it's what they do.
Yeah.
It's everybody's going to come in and try to, they're going to run the football against us. And again, we're young in a few of those spots, and our guys are getting better each week. I think we even did a better job in the second half against Cardinal Mooney. They coming in and running. They did a lot more throwing the ball going in. And I think everybody's going to try to establish a run, and we got to do a way better job. Doesn't matter who we were playing this week, of stopping a run, or they're just going to keep doing it. So, and they do. I mean, they have, we're going to have to stick a lot of guys in the box. They have the ability with 2 or 3 of those guys they have in the backfield to hurt you running the football. So, I mean, they did it a week ago. I mean, they just got hurt with some penalties and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but they do have the ability and big play capabilities, throwing the ball downfield. We've got it. We have to do that. We have to better job at defending the deep ball. So
you've been doing this a while. I mean, can you see going back to the guys that you're a young team, right? Mm-hmm. Can you see them as the game slows down? You know what I mean?
Oh,
when does it click for them? Is it about this point?
It's about week 5. Like,
okay.
And for reason why, I don't know why, but over the years, and I've been defensive coordinator since 1998. Like I always felt like our defense, it took till about week 5 to know what you can do, what you can't do, who your people are, who are your top 15 or 20 guys that you could play against. It depends how many, there's been years where I've only been able to play 13 guys. There's been years where you could play 17, 18 guys. It just depends. I think you find that groove, and it takes till about week 5, to do that. But I also think that's because if you're playing a younger guy or a guy with an experience, I think they start to come around better. And the more you don't change, the better they get at things. And you just keep getting better each week.
And that's why seniors, your expectations for them are weeks 1, weeks 2. You lock it in.
Ready. Yes, you got to be ready. But we're going to have other guys that are going to have. You got to know, like they're going to have to. We have to wait for them, and you got to play at another level because they're just not going to be ready at the level that you are.
When you look at what Harding brings to the table, what you guys bring to the table, they're fast, they're physical, and they're going to try to expose you guys on multiple fronts. Are there ways? And this is, I mean. The normal human being, the sports question is this going to sound stupid? Are there ways to kind of deflect that stuff, deflect the weaknesses?
Yeah, I mean, I think there always is. I mean, that's a part of game planning.
Yeah,
that's a part that I enjoy doing.
Hiding it.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's ways of, just the things that we can do to whether it's in our pass game and our run game that we could add and cause them to just play a little bit slower. So we got to do things to make them think a little bit more, and maybe what they see is not what they're getting. That kind of thing. So, I mean, I thought we did that really well the last 2 weeks. I think we really have done really good game plans. I've really liked our game plans. I wouldn't be like, oh, no, we shouldn't have did this. We shouldn't have did that. I mean, I think that, and I think our kids have done a much better job this year than we did a year ago of executing our plan.
Yeah.
Where, hey, they really understand. I mean, last year was new. It's all new. And it's, I'm creating a culture. So like whatever I'm doing, I'm creating for years.
Yeah.
I'm not just looking at today or tomorrow.
No.
It's a thing that we're going to set in stone. Some of the stuff that we talked about last year about the type of people we want, the type of people we're building, but also this is the play that we want. And this is the expectation. This is how we're going to play. This is the way we expect to play. And I think the more that we do that, the more we're going to keep getting that. That's Jim Tressel 101. Yep. If you if you rep it enough, they can only get better at it, right? So you're only results. You reap results from repetition.
Not
so,
one of those Halloween
no,
stores.
No,
That
yes,
pop up everywhere.
but I think that there's a lot of things that we can do to help ourselves. I mean, again, the bottom line comes down, we have to execute what we do. But we're always going to have things that we're going to add to that to cause them problems, to slow them down, how they play by things that we do in our run and pass game.
All right, what question did I give you last week? Was it about football? Did you get the table question? Like, you have a table for 6?
No,
I don't think. Okay,
no, I didn't
perfect.
get that. Oh gosh,
perfect, perfect. All right, you've got a table for 6. You and 5 others, living or not, anybody in the world.
Yeah.
What 5 people would you bring to that table? It's a 2-part question, so just be ready.
Number 1, my mom.
Perfect.
Number 2, my aunt. Just to listen to those two be together and yell at each other.
There's going to be 2 tables, man.
Yes, right.
You're taking the Pav one out. Pav had he goes, I want my mom, my dad, my family. I was like, all right,
I'm good though. That's where I'm at. So those are 2, just because of those 2 people and who they were, how they affected my life.
Yeah.
I was always around them, and they were just hilarious to listen to. They could fight and love each other.
How did they affect your life?
My mom was always around. My dad worked. He was midnights, all that kind of stuff. So worked different shifts. My mom was great in my life. Just she really was the disciplinarian at the house. I know that most people, like, you're living in an Italian house, but I was scared of my dad, but I never, you know what I mean? I was always in fear. And my mom, I never wanted to let her down. She loved me no matter what I did. Took care of me. Like, you knew, like, if I could have lived there until I was 80, she would have loved it. You know what I mean? Like, she'd take care. So.
And your aunt?
And my aunt was I was always there. So, like, we lived right down the street.
Okay.
So I was there all the time. And, her and this would be my cousin, Renee. We were really, really close. So we were close in age. We hung out all the time. And, she was just a really caring person. Like, she was really good for people. She didn't hold grudges against people. Like, you just learn little things like that you learn that kind of mold you who you are today. When we talk about it too, like, just the experiences we go through. So those 2 people, oh my gosh, like, who the heck else? Probably Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
Are you a big Stallone fan?
Oh, I love Rockies. I've watched it all the time. I'll reference it to the kids all the time.
What's your favorite Rocky?
Rocky 3.
Rocky
just watched
3?
it again yesterday. It was
no
on
kidding.
yesterday. Yes, I love it.
Wow.
That's my favorite one.
Did you watch any of the new ones?
Yeah,
not a fan.
No,
okay.
I'm not a fan. Maybe it's just my age and growing up is where I was in my life that affected me.
Well, Creed, right?
Yeah,
Creed.
Creed's
And then did you like Rocky Balboa?
Yes, I did.
I did like.
And most people, you would think no, because it was like, was it Rocky 5? I didn't really care for that, but then they brought Rocky Balboa. Really liked it.
Rocky 5 was the one that did the street fight.
Yeah,
I hated that.
No, it just was like, I don't know.
That one's weird.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I still watched it though.
Yeah. All right, so we got Mom and Stallone. That's good. God. That's a good start.
They could be dead or alive.
Yeah.
Chet Allen. You know Chet Allen?
Like,
he was
the
head
coach
at Liberty.
Yes.
Yeah. We went to high school together.
Oh my gosh.
Just because he could be purely entertaining to my life. The funniest guy I know in the world.
Yes.
I used to call he's John Candy. He could have been doing stand up sometime. That's 4, right?
That's 4. The last one.
My ex-head coach, George Galgas.
No kidding.
Yeah. Big part of my life. Again,
that's awesome.
I think probably why I got into coaching. I remember sitting in his car having a conversation about just life and where I should go. And he's like, hey, why don't you just coach? And boom, from there, that was 1991, and bam.
Just like that.
Since that, yeah.
Wow.
Like, and it was a deeper conversation about stuff that, I'm not going to. He was really a big part of my life. I remember when I was at Liberty, I was a sophomore. I remember this story. Like, the job opened up. We all wanted. My class was a good class. It wasn't great or anything, but I remember sitting on the gym floor. He was my PE teacher, and I was crying. Like, you need to take this football job. Like, we need you to be there. Like, you can't not apply. I don't know. No, you need to apply. Like, I remember that I was crying, telling him that, and it was just one of those things. And I think that he just had a great. I mean, a lot of the things I do now are because of him as a coach. I mimic a lot of things that he does, and it's a big part of my life. He actually coached with me at Harding too for 3 years. It was great. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great table.
Yeah.
Stallone's gonna be like, "What am I doing here?" DJ Dota. Once again, good luck this week, Coach. We appreciate you as always. We'll be back right after this with some football players here on the Boardman Spartan Show.